Hi, I'm Johnny and you're watching the Hexy Beast, and I've decided to brave the heat today to bring you part 7 of my shelf by shelf series, where I'm going to be taking a look at this shelf right here. Anyway, let's just get on with it, shall we? Okay, so this is part 7 of my shelf by shelf series where I take a look at my entire collection. It's going to change as time goes on, obviously, and that's why there's going to be another list next year when I eventually get to it. But right now we're going to be taking a look at the 7th part, which is the shelf I've just emptied by here. And let's just say it's a bit of a doozy. So anyway, let's just get on with the games on the list. So first of all, this is the shelf where my Wingspan collection lives. And I've got the base game by here. We also have the European expansion. We also have the Oceania expansion. So basically it's safe to say that I'm quite a fan of Wingspan. And basically, if you haven't heard of Wingspan, it's like an engine building card game which is built around laying birds out in certain habitats and setting off combos so that you can gain the most points at the end of a game. Or in the case of the solo mode, you're trying to beat an automa which is made by the automa factories that Stomag Games usually employ. So let's move on to the next game, and another one we have here is one by Senfung Lin. One of my favourite card games actually is Mutants, the card game. It's kind of like a deck building game, but it's also very sort of time focused. You have phases where your cards sort of move down before you can use them, and everything you use either moves to a left or a right, so it's quite fun figuring out which cards work best when choosing your monsters in that game. I quite liked Mutants by Senfung Lin from Lucky Duck Games. It's one of those games I enjoyed. I still get out from time to time. Anyway, let's get on with the next game. And the next game I have is something which has been played. In fact, all these have been played so far, so I'm putting this in the wrong place. Let's put that over there in the played pile. Then we've got this, which is Call to Adventure, which is actually quite a fun little game. You kind of have to have an imagination to enjoy it. But it has some cool runes instead of dice when you're coming up with stories. It's kind of like a funky little card game with some interesting like moon and sun based mechanics. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't really remember it that much. In fact, I think I should probably get this one back to my table at some point. So that's all in the played pile so far. In fact, I think I'm going to reorganize this so you can actually see some of them at least off camera for a little bit. Here we go, there's the played pile, we'll put that over there. And next we have the first thing to go in the pile of shame, or the pile of opportunity, whatever you want to call it, is the Innsmouth Conspiracy expansion for the Arkham Horror card game. As you know, you've probably heard of the Arkham Horror card game. It's one of those card games, the LCGs from Fantasy Flight, and this is an expansion for it, well, the start of a cycle that I haven't actually played yet. So that's going in the unplayed pile, which is going to start over here somewhere, so we'll leave that there. So anyway, that moves us on to the next in the unplayed pile. Well, it's technically not unplayed. Right, technically speaking, I have played North Africa from the Undaunted series using Michael Kelly's solo mode. He designed it for Normandy, but I kind of adapted it to work with North Africa. Since then, I've lent the game to a friend, and they've enjoyed it so much that when they decided that they didn't want to give it back, I kind of decided to let them keep it, because I was going to buy this anyway, again, and I was going to get it along with Normandy. So technically this goes in the played pile, which is getting awfully tall and precarious. I might fall over on top of us. I also bought it with the new solo implementation that is done by David Digby and Turksy and, you know, the usual solo affair, for the reinforcements pack as well. So I've now actually got the entire Undaunted series so far, and I've heard there's a digital version coming soon as well, according to Steam. So that's exciting. That's all in the not played pile. That's all from Osprey Games, and it's there along with this Arkham Horror card game expansion. And next we have a game that's definitely going in the played pile because I've played a lot of it. Even me and my wife have played this one. I don't just play this one solo. I have people who actually like to play it with me, which is strange, I know. But Aeon's End is basically a boss battler, but it's a deck builder with a twist where you don't actually shuffle the cards. You just sort of flip your deck over once you expend it. Your discard pile basically becomes your draw pile in the order that you actually acquire cards, which is a fun twist on deck building. So that's Aeon's End. Oh, we're getting through them. We're getting through them quick. And I think we've only got 2 more now. And this is Great Western Trail, which unfortunately hasn't been played yet. It's been opened. I've been reading the rulebook. I played Boone Lake with some friends. A couple of weeks ago I decided to go check out another one. I've had this on my shelf for a while, but I haven't actually opened it and played it yet. But I've got the rulebook read, so it's still going in the unplayed shelf of shame pile, or whatever that is over there. And last but not least, it's a game that I actually received for review, and it's actually one of my... I get the best feedback. It's a video on my channel where I teach this game in about 45 minutes, and it always seems to get good feedback. This was provided to me by Dan Verson Games, and I still play it ever since. I'm planning on doing more content on it, to be honest, because I think it'd be fun to go through one of the longer missions in multiple parts. So you need to let me know if you want to see that. So that's Warfighter from Dan Verson Games. Anyway, I think that about brings us to the end. I think that's the whole shelf. Yeah, the shelf is empty. So anyway, that brings us on to the end of part 7 of my Shelf by Shelf series. If you've been enjoying what you see, or just like to look at some of the games on my shelf, please feel free to check out the link to Firestorm Games in my description. Also, if the content has been appealing to you, please click that subscribe button by there, and check out another one of my videos by here. Anyway, I've been Johnny, you've been watching the Hexy Beast. Thank you for watching, and most of all, stay Hexy, everyone. I've lost my thingy. Where'd I put my thingy? My thingy? Oh, there's my thingy.